I have some tips for you. Here are some grocery shopping tips so you can make meals and snacks after your visits to the Cleveland Metro Parks. So grocery shopping can be a little bit of a tricky situation potentially for people during regular times, but especially now during this pandemic that we're all going through, we really want to focus on how to minimize trips to the store and really maximize the things that we're purchasing so that we can stay home and stay safe and stay with our families more. So what I'm going to show you today is give you some tips and tricks as to how I do my grocery shopping. You can see I have my groceries right here behind me, and we'll talk about ways to, again, minimize how often you're going to the store, but making sure that you stock up on things enough so that, of course, everyone in the family can still have healthy, nutritious items to stay fueled and stay healthy. So the first tip that I'm going to give you, and I would tell this to everybody, even not during COVID-19, but you want to make a list. So what I would say is go through those old cookbooks, go through things online, make it fun, get the kids involved, especially with people home more. Maybe a different child gets to pick out a different meal for the week, but meal prepping and planning ahead of time what you're gonna make is really going to minimize waste, and it's gonna help you make more rapid decisions when you're at the store. So if you meal plan ahead of time, then make a list. That's the big thing. So we're gonna start with fruits and vegetables. Just as if you walked into the grocery store, you go right into the produce aisles, the area right there, that's where we're gonna begin. So again, most people might think, oh, I can't get fresh stuff, it goes bad so quickly. Totally fine. We'll walk through freezer items as well, and we can talk about maybe some foods that are gonna last a little bit longer than others.
So here are some fruits and here are some vegetables that I got. So when it comes to fruits, I always go for apples, oranges, and bananas. You know, they are the standard classic ones. They're also going to be ones that last a little bit longer. If you keep them in the refrigerator, they're going to last longer that way as well. So these apples here and those oranges, I'm going to keep in the refrigerator. The bananas I'm going to keep, and a tip actually is if you wrap the top part here with some saran wrap, it helps keep them just a little bit longer. So there's a tip there. Also, I am a big fan of banana bread, smoothies, anything like that when my fruits are going bad. I want to make sure I get some berries. I love berries. They give you lots of fiber and lots of vitamins and minerals, of course. And again, when the berries are starting to go bad, I typically freeze them. So there's a lot of ways to look at that. Other fruits that you can get, of course, you could get mango, you can get kiwi, anything like that. I personally just find that these ones tend to last the longest. I always like to get unsweetened applesauce. This is something I buy regularly. It's important to get unsweetened so that we don't get the added sugar there. But that, of course, I could buy 4 or 5 of these bad boys and they stay right there in the pantry. The other thing is some dried fruit possibly. So here we have freeze-dried strawberries and raisins. So of course, fresh fruit is gonna be best, but having some backup dried fruit is a great idea as well. Just making sure that there's no additional added sugar in there. And then let's talk veggies. So I cannot speak highly enough about vegetables. Vegetables are gonna be so important, especially to maintain your immune system and keep you and your family bodies healthy during this time. But what stays a while and what are we gonna be able to keep? So I always go for, the bag things like this. I like to buy it in bulk. So here I have white onions and red onions. I use onions in a ton of cooking. Avocados. So I like to get these little petite avocados. They last for a while. Put these in the refrigerator as well. So especially if those are going bad, you can put them in the refrigerator. Bell peppers are going to be great. You can, of course, keep these. You should keep these in the fridge. And then carrots. Carrots have been my go-to lately. So I buy like 3 or 4 of these, and they last for so long in the fridge, and you can use them in tons of different dishes, and you can bake with them, cook with them, but they last a really long time. So carrots, I would say, are going to be a staple right now. Celery is going to be a good one as well. I like to cook and do a lot with that. And then potatoes and sweet potatoes. So these ones don't look so hot, but I got a bag of sweet potatoes. I got a bag of potatoes as well. Keep those in a cool, dark area, and they're gonna last you a while, and you can utilize them in so many ways. I got some mushrooms, I got some tomatoes. These are gonna go bad a little quicker, but personally, the tomatoes might be bad after a week, the mushrooms might be bad, the peppers I'll probably eat by then, but when it comes to like the carrots, the potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the onions, even getting like butternut squash, spaghetti squash, zucchini, things like that. I didn't find much of that today, but those are gonna be great things also to get to last for a long time. And then let's talk about canned veggies. So canned veggies are definitely an option now too. So here I have beets and I have green beans here. So canned veggies are just gonna have more sodium in them, of course, but if you rinse them off before you eat them, you're gonna lose some sodium that way. And again, we do what we can during these times. Canned veggies are still gonna be a perfectly fine option. So if my fresh vegetables are gone by week 1 and I have to use canned and frozen veggies week 2, that is no problem at all with me. So speaking of frozen, we're gonna take you over here to the freezer. So let's see what I have in here. So down here in this part of my freezer, I have a lot of broccoli. Clearly we eat a good amount of broccoli in this household, but I have frozen broccoli. I have frozen riced cauliflower that I might use for stir fries or in smoothies or a variety of things. I found these veggie puffs. These are cauliflower. These are great for the kids. Just getting some vegetables in that way a little bit. And then, you know, I have green beans, I have mixed stir-fried veggies, I have all kinds. I stock up on the frozen veggies. And then when it comes to the fruit, I have a frozen mixed fruit medley here. Again, maybe my fresh fruit isn't good anymore, but I have the mixed fruit here. There's no added sugar in this. And then here, it doesn't look so pretty, but this is a baggie of berries that were going to go bad. So I washed them and I froze them myself, and then I am going to use them in smoothies. So let's talk pantry items. So we're gonna talk grains, we're gonna talk things that stay in the pantry for a while. All of these things you probably buy in some capacity on a regular basis anyway, but now's the time to stock up on them, of course, so that if you are running low on fresh food from the refrigerator, you at least have backups. You can make so many different things with these. And in some of our later videos that we're gonna do for you, we are going to absolutely show you some good recipes with some pantry staples. But for the grains for now, so if possible, you want to make sure that we can get whole grains when we can. So, you know, we might get bread, rice, pasta, things like that. I do have a lot of the whole grain products here. Really, though, you can buy any variety that works for you and for your family. So here we have rice and quinoa. So these big old bags here are going to be perfect. They can last for a super long time. Brown rice is great. If you get white, basmati, anything like that too, totally fine. I love tortilla chips personally, so I always stock up on tortilla chips, other chip varieties as well, but I like to have those. I want to make sure that I have some granola bars. So these are Lara bars right here. They just have minimal ingredients, but again, any shelf-stable granola bars, we do want to make sure they have protein and fiber in them if possible. So there are a bunch of different options out there. Whole grain bread is going to be great. This is actually a brand new one I found today, so I've never tried it before. But bread, I would say keep in the freezer. That's your tip on bread. So I actually have another loaf in the freezer right now, and then I just take it out and either like defrost it or toast it as I need it, and then that lasts me a really long time. I like to get lentils and beans. So again, these are very economically friendly. You can make a lot of cheap dishes with these and they stay in the pantry for a really long time. So especially right now, great high protein food, great financially, and can last a long time. I love popcorn, so I might like to have some popcorn there. Nice high fiber whole grain, going to be a good alternative to like your fried chips and things of that nature. You know, we have some snack foods here, we have some crackers there, and then some pasta. So these are just examples of like a higher protein pasta that I just buy for my family personally, but you can get whatever works for you. And then we have our canned goods. So staples, I would say, are going to be all of these things. So we want to make sure to have beans. Beans are going to be amazing during this time period. You can make chili, you can make tacos, you can make a huge variety of it, but stock up on beans. They're cheap. And if you get like, I don't know, 10 or so of each variety of bean and you just have it there, once you get towards the end of the week with your grocery shopping, you can really come up with some great recipes right there with that. So here I have a variety of beans. I have chickpeas. I have a lot of different things here. And then tomato paste and tomato sauce. Also like diced or whole tomatoes. I always like to keep stuff on this on hand, again, for chili, for tomato sauce, for a lot of different recipes there. Great canned goods, not gonna go bad. Pasta sauce, of course, you can stock up on that. And then I like to always have chicken broth, vegetable broth, whatever, just to make sure we have that there. Canned pumpkin I have here. I know it's not fall and pumpkin season, but you can do so much with canned pumpkin. You may even still have some left from the fall. I actually believe this one is from the fall still, but it's not gonna go bad for a while, and I can use it in a lot of recipes. It can give me some great vitamins right there. And then soup. So totally stock up on some soup. You know, the other option is you can make it yourself and freeze it, but go ahead and get some soups. Just kind of peek at the sodium level, make sure it has some good protein in it, but those are gonna be some great options there that we can do from a grain and pantry standpoint.
Protein's gonna be really important to keep you and the kids full throughout the day. That way they're not coming back all day asking for snacks every hour or so. But it's tough because a lot of people think, oh, I can't get a ton of meat, it's gonna go bad really quickly, or it's really costly. You know, if we're asking you to stock up on meat for a couple weeks, it might not be feasible for everybody, but there's definitely options, and let's talk about them.
First and foremost, I would say freeze your meat. So if you're gonna use it within a few days, great. If not, freeze it. I personally get mine already frozen. These are chicken wings, but you can do it in so many ways. So freezer's gonna be your friend when it comes to that. Eggs are amazing. I can't say enough good things about eggs. They are going to be economically friendly. You can make so many dishes with them. They're gonna be crazy high in protein. Most stores right now are limiting to 2 per person, but stock up on eggs when you can. Other things you can keep in the refrigerator, these chicken sausages are really nice. I've seen these at every single grocery store, but they're chicken sausages. They come in a variety of flavors and they last for a really long time. So once you open them, you need to use them within about a week, but otherwise, I stock up on these and they last for about a month or so without opening them. Canned goods are gonna be great. So canned chicken or tuna, great protein sources that are going to last a very long time. And then, you know, they have these little tuna packets that are different flavors that you could also get, same purpose. You know, we're going to get good protein in there, but they're going to stay shelf stable. A lunch meat, a deli, turkey, ham, something like that's definitely an option. Might not stay as good once it's open, but this one here says it's good until June as long as it's not open. So I can stock up on that and then have it there for when I need it. Tofu, we want to, of course, maybe have some vegetarian options. So tofu, and then I have these frozen meatless meatballs right there. So, you know, there's a bunch of different options when it comes to vegetarian protein sources, but tofu is going to last for a really long time in the refrigerator as well. And then, you know, beans, nuts, we already talked about beans, but nuts are gonna be great. Sunflower seeds are gonna be another option. These are different ways that we can get our protein in. And then peanut butter. So stock up on your peanut butter. We wanna make sure that it has no added sugar in it. So preferably the only ingredients are gonna be peanuts and salt, but that's gonna be a great protein source as well. So you don't even have to do meat. There's so many other options, or, you know, cheaper meats or meats that are just gonna last a little bit longer. But, you know, maybe think outside the box a little bit when it comes to protein sources. You might not have to have a chili with regular meat. You might have a vegetarian chili with a bunch of different variety of beans. You might utilize eggs in some new ways. You might try fish or tuna or things that you haven't tried before. So different protein sources are definitely gonna be great ideas. And last but not least is gonna be our dairy products. So many options when it comes to dairy, and you don't have to buy dairy. You know, you can do dairy alternatives and such, but I wanted to make sure we talk through some options here that are gonna last for a while. So cheese is definitely gonna be a great one that'll last for a little bit longer. I like to get these string cheeses here. Expiration date is August, so that's great. Obviously, I like to get a different variety of shredded cheese, sliced cheese, different things like that. These Laughing Cow cheeses are nice, you know, just little snacks, things like that. So cheese is gonna last you for a while. And then cottage cheese and yogurt is gonna be options as well. So here I have a cottage cheese and a Greek yogurt. You can get the little individual yogurts as well, absolutely fine. We just go through it really quickly here, so I like to get a couple of the big guys. I actually get a few of these when I go to the store because, again, until you open them, they last for a while in the refrigerator. Once you open them, you do have to use them, but you can go through one at a time. And then milk, so, you know, any milk that you want to get is fine. This is just what I personally buy. I like the Fairlife milk because it's higher in protein and it does last a little bit longer. So again, we're really focusing right now on minimizing trips. And then any unsweetened milk alternative is going to be great as well. Again, cow's milk, absolutely fine. I just personally find that these last a little bit longer. So especially right now, this is the route that I like to go with my dairy products.
So that was my grocery trip for the week, or should I say weeks. So hopefully you learned a little bit today. I did get some other items, of course, some pantry staples like some baking things, some olive oil, things of that nature. But this at least gives you an idea as to things I like to get regularly to keep the fridge stocked, the freezer stocked, the pantry stocked, and minimize how often that I need to go out and go to the store. We hope you are able to enjoy snacks and your visits to the parks. Please make sure you subscribe to the Adventure Club e-newsletter at clevelandmetroparks.com/adventureclub to continue receiving these healthy tips.